Hollywood is often viewed as a magical land of fame and fortune. But what happens when the fame turns tragic? Throughout history, many beloved actors have met untimely and often shocking deaths. From horrifying accidents to struggles with addiction, their stories serve as a grim reminder that life in the spotlight can be as dangerous as it is dazzling. Today, we're counting down the 25 worst ways Hollywood actors have died. These stories are heartbreaking, shocking, and sometimes stranger than fiction. Stay tuned. You won't believe some of the fates that befell these stars. 25. Paul Walker. Known for his high-octane performances in the Fast and Furious franchise, Paul Walker's tragic death in a fiery car crash stunned the world in 2013. At a charity event for his organization, Reach Out Worldwide, Paul and his friend Roger Rodas decided to take a spin in a Porsche Carrera GT. Little did they know, it would be their last drive. The car lost control and crashed into a concrete pole, instantly bursting into flames. Both Paul and Roger were killed on impact. At just 40, Paul's sudden death was a heartbreaking reminder of how fleeting life can be, especially when the line between fiction and reality blurs. Walker's death shocked fans, not only because of its violent nature, but because of the tragic irony. His Fast and Furious character Brian O'Connor was synonymous with fast cars and dangerous stunts, yet his real-life passion for driving ultimately led to his death. Fans mourned not only the loss of a talented actor, but also a humanitarian who was dedicated to helping others. 24. Heath Ledger. Many still remember the haunting performance Heath Ledger gave as the Joker in The Dark Knight. Tragically, it was one of his last. On January 22, 2008, Heath was found dead in his Manhattan apartment, a victim of an accidental overdose of prescription medications. The news shocked fans and the film industry alike. At just 28, Heath's sudden passing left a gaping hole in Hollywood, especially as he was on the cusp of an even brighter career. Ledger had been dealing with severe insomnia and exhaustion after filming The Dark Knight, and it was reported that he was physically and mentally drained by the role of the Joker. Many speculate that the intense psychological toll the character took on him contributed to his increased reliance on prescription drugs, including painkillers, anti-anxiety medication, and sleeping pills. He posthumously won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest talents of his generation. 23. Brandon Lee. Tragedy struck the Lee family again in 1993 when Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, died while filming the gothic superhero movie The Crow. During a scene involving a prop gun, a real bullet fragment was accidentally discharged, striking Brandon in the abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Brandon died at the age of 28, his death eerily echoing the mysterious circumstances of his father's own untimely demise. Brandon Lee's death caused a media firestorm, particularly because it was a freak accident on the set of a film about life and death. The tragedy led to major changes in the way firearms are handled on film sets, and The Crow became a cult classic, partly due to its association with his tragic death. Fans and filmmakers alike were left wondering what kind of career Brandon could have had if his life hadn't been cut short. 22. River Phoenix. River Phoenix was Hollywood's golden boy in the 1980s, beloved for his roles in Stand By Me and My Own Private Idaho. But beneath his innocent image, River struggled with drug addiction. On the night of October 31, 1993, River collapsed outside the Viper Room in Los Angeles, a club partly owned by Johnny Depp. He died of a drug overdose at just 23 years old. His death shocked the industry, as many had no idea he was struggling with addiction. River's death came as a surprise to his fans because he had always projected an image of youthful innocence and was even a role model for young actors. But behind the scenes, River had been battling drug problems for years. The Viper Room became infamous after his death, and Johnny Depp would later distance himself from the club. River's passing served as a reminder of the pressures of Hollywood on young actors and the dangers of substance abuse. 21. Marilyn Monroe. Few deaths have been as steeped in mystery and speculation as that of Marilyn Monroe, The blonde bombshell was found dead in her Los Angeles home on August 5, 1962, from a barbiturate overdose, officially ruled a probable suicide. Marilyn's death at 36 raised countless questions. Was it really an overdose, or something more sinister? Some believe her rumored affairs with powerful figures contributed to her untimely death. Monroe had struggled with depression and drug addiction for years, and her sudden death came at a time when she was said to be on the brink of a career comeback. However, her involvement with figures like John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy has fueled countless conspiracy theories about whether her death was accidental, suicidal, or even murder. Despite the controversy, Marilyn Monroe remains an enduring symbol of beauty, talent, and tragedy. 20. James Dean. James Dean embodied the spirit of rebellious youth in films like Rebel Without a Cause, but his life was tragically cut short in a car crash at just 24 years old. On September 30, 1955, Dean was driving his Porsche 550 Spider, nicknamed Little Bastard, when he collided with another vehicle. Dean died instantly, his life snuffed out just as his career was taking off. James Dean's death was all the more tragic because he was seen as the next big thing in Hollywood. His brooding performances had captured the imaginations of young fans everywhere. His car, the Little Bastard, has since become part of Hollywood folklore, with some even believing it was cursed due to the accidents that befell other owners of the vehicle. Dean's death immortalized him as a cultural icon of youth rebellion, forever frozen in time as the ultimate cool guy. 19. Natalie Wood. The death of Natalie Wood in 1981 remains one of Hollywood's great unsolved mysteries. The West Side Story actress drowned under suspicious circumstances while on a yacht trip with her husband, Robert Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken. Officially ruled an accidental drowning, many believe foul play was involved, and new investigations into her death have kept the mystery alive for decades. Wood's death has been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and theories, with some pointing to the strained relationship between her and Wagner as a possible motive for foul play. Witnesses on nearby boats claim to have heard screams the night she died, and in 2018, Wagner was named a person of interest in the case, though no charges have ever been filed. Despite the mystery, Natalie Wood remains remembered for her contributions to film, particularly for her iconic roles in Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story. 18. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of the most respected actors of his generation, known for his roles in films like Capote and The Master. But behind his success, Hoffman struggled with addiction. In February 2014, he was found dead in his New York City apartment from a heroin overdose. He was 46 years old, and his death shocked both his colleagues and his fans. Hoffman had been sober for over 2 decades, but relapsed shortly before his death. His passing brought the issue of addiction in Hollywood to the forefront, especially as it highlighted the difficulty of maintaining sobriety in the high-pressure environment of fame. His death was a devastating loss to the acting community, as Hoffman was widely considered one of the finest actors of his generation, earning multiple awards and nominations throughout his career. 17. Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy's death in December 2009 left Hollywood reeling. Known for her roles in Clueless and 8 Mile, she was just 32 years old when she died under mysterious circumstances in her Los Angeles home. The initial cause of death was reported as pneumonia, but toxicology reports revealed a cocktail of prescription medications in her system. The tragedy deepened when her husband, Simon Monjack, died in a similar manner just 5 months later, sparking conspiracy theories. Murphy's sudden death shocked her fans and the film industry, especially given her young age and the strange circumstances surrounding both her and Monjack's passing. Some speculate that mold in their home may have played a role in their deaths, while others suspect foul play, given the strange details and inconsistent reports. Brittany's once promising career was tragically cut short, and the unanswered questions about her death only add to the heartbreak. 16. Robin Williams. Robin Williams was one of the most beloved comedians and actors in Hollywood, known for his work in films like Good Will Hunting, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Dead Poets Society. His death by suicide in August 2014 shocked the world. Williams had been privately battling Lewy body dementia, a devastating disease that affects thinking, movement, and mood. His tragic death at age 63 shined a light on the silent battles that many people face, even those who bring so much joy to others. Robin Williams' death was a profound loss not only for his fans, but for the world at large. Behind his public persona as a high-energy comedian and actor, he was grappling with severe depression and a debilitating neurological disease. The revelation that he had been suffering from Lewy body dementia shed light on the challenges faced by those dealing with mental and physical illnesses. Williams' legacy as an entertainer is enduring, but his death remains a sobering reminder of the struggles many face in silence. 15. John Belushi. John Belushi, the wild and energetic comedian known for Saturday Night Live and Animal House, died of a drug overdose in March 1982. At just 33 years old, Belushi's death was a grim reflection of the dangerous lifestyle he had been leading. His death at the Chateau Marmont Hotel in Los Angeles sent shockwaves through Hollywood and became a cautionary tale about the toll that fame and excess can take. Belushi's death was a major blow to the comedy world, as he was considered one of the most influential and original comedic talents of his generation. His addiction to cocaine and heroin had been an open secret in Hollywood, but many had hoped he would get the help he needed. His passing became a tragic symbol of the era's drug culture, and his legacy as a comedic genius remains overshadowed by his untimely demise. 14. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, the martial arts legend and international film star, died mysteriously in 1973 at the age of 32. The official cause of death was cerebral edema, but conspiracy theories have swirled ever since. Some believe he was poisoned, others claim it was an allergic reaction to a painkiller, while others link his death to a curse that supposedly followed the Lee family. Whatever the cause, Bruce Lee's death was a devastating loss to the world of martial arts and cinema. Lee's death came at the height of his fame, just before the release of his iconic film, Enter the Dragon. His sudden death in Hong Kong shocked the world, and speculation about the true cause of his death has never stopped. Some have pointed to his intense physical regimen, while others have delved into more mystical explanations involving curses or rivalries within the martial arts world. Despite the mystery surrounding his death, Bruce Lee's influence on cinema and martial arts remains unparalleled. 13. Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate's brutal murder in 1969 remains one of the most horrifying tragedies in Hollywood history. Tate, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, was killed by members of the Manson family cult. The attack, which also claimed the lives of 4 others, took place in her own home. The horrifying nature of her death, at just 26 years old, shocked the world and cemented Charles Manson's place in infamy. Tate's murder became a symbol of the cultural upheaval of the 1960s and the dark undercurrent that ran through the counterculture movement. She was a rising star, married to famed director Roman Polanski, and her death cut short what could have been a long and successful career. The Manson family murders are still widely discussed today, with many films, documentaries, and books attempting to dissect the events of that night. Sharon Tate's tragic death forever altered the image of Hollywood as a safe haven for the elite. 12. Anton Yelchin. Anton Yelchin, the talented young actor best known for his role as Chekhov in the Star Trek reboot, died in a freak accident in June 2016. Yelchin was pinned between his car and a brick pillar at his home after the vehicle rolled backward in his driveway. The tragic accident claimed his life at just 27 years old, and his death sent shockwaves through Hollywood as his star was on the rise. Yelchin's death was particularly tragic because it was so unexpected and unusual. The accident was attributed to a design flaw in the gear shift of his Jeep, which had been the subject of a recall. Anton's promising career had just begun to flourish, with roles in critically acclaimed films such as Like Crazy and Green Room. His passing not only devastated fans and colleagues, but also highlighted issues of vehicle safety, leading to further scrutiny of the car model involved in the accident. 11. Chris Farley. Chris Farley was one of the brightest comedic stars of the 1990s, beloved for his work on Saturday Night Live and in films like Tommy Boy. However, behind the laughter, Farley struggled with drug and alcohol addiction. In December 1997, Farley was found dead in his Chicago apartment from a drug overdose at the age of 33, his life eerily mirroring that of his idol John Belushi. Farley's death was a tragic and predictable end to a life plagued by excess and addiction. His struggles with weight, substance abuse, and self-esteem were well known in Hollywood circles, and despite attempts at rehab, he couldn't overcome his demons. Farley's death was a significant loss to the comedy world, as many believed he had the potential to follow in the footsteps of comedy legends. His larger-than-life personality hid the deep sadness that eventually took his life. 10. Corey Haim. Corey Haim was a teen heartthrob in the 1980s, known for films like The Lost Boys and Lucas. However, his battle with addiction derailed his career and ultimately led to his death in 2010 at the age of 38. Haim died from pneumonia, but many believe his years of substance abuse had weakened his body to the point where he could no longer recover. Haim's fall from grace was a public one. As a child star, he was thrust into fame at a young age, and like many before him, he struggled with the pressures that came with it. His close friend and frequent co-star, Corey Feldman, has spoken publicly about the abuse and exploitation they faced as young actors, adding more layers to the tragedy of Haim's life. His death served as a sobering reminder of how damaging Hollywood can be for child stars. 9. Judy Garland. Judy Garland, the legendary star of The Wizard of Oz, had a career that spanned decades, but her life was far from a fairy tale. Plagued by drug addiction and financial problems, Garland died of an accidental overdose in 1969 at the age of 47. Her death marked the end of a tumultuous life, one that saw both incredible highs and devastating lows. Garland's struggles began when she was just a teenager, with studio executives forcing her to take pills to control her weight and keep her awake for long filming hours. This early exposure to drugs led to a lifetime of addiction, and despite her immense talent, Garland's personal demons often overshadowed her career. Her death, while tragic, was not entirely unexpected, and it highlighted the toxic practices of the old Hollywood system, where stars were often treated as commodities rather than people. 8. David Carradine. David Carradine, best known for his roles in Kung Fu and Kill Bill, died under bizarre and controversial circumstances in June 2009. He was found dead in his hotel room in Bangkok, Thailand, with evidence suggesting he had died from autoerotic asphyxiation. The scandalous nature of Carradine's death at age 72 shocked his fans and family, casting a shadow over his long career in Hollywood. Carradine had been working on a film in Thailand when the tragedy occurred. His sudden death, especially given its sensational circumstances, sparked international headlines and led to countless rumors and speculation. While his family initially suspected foul play, the coroner ultimately ruled his death accidental. Carradine's career had seen a resurgence thanks to his role in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. But sadly, his mysterious and controversial death became one of the defining moments of his legacy. 7. Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith, the model and actress who became a pop culture icon, died of a drug overdose in February 2007. Known for her striking looks and larger-than-life personality, Smith's life was often mired in controversy, from her marriage to an elderly billionaire to her battles over his estate. Her death at 39 was attributed to a combination of prescription medications, similar to the overdose that claimed her son just months earlier. Smith's tragic life had been on public display for years, from her early days as a Playboy model to her struggles with addiction and her highly publicized legal battles. Her death, following the loss of her 20-year-old son Daniel just 5 months earlier, added another layer of heartbreak. Anna Nicole had been attempting to rebuild her life and career, but her battle with prescription drugs ultimately proved fatal. Her passing remains one of the most tragic and high-profile celebrity deaths of the 2000s. 6. James Gandolfini. James Gandolfini, the award-winning actor best known for his portrayal of Tony Soprano on The Sopranos, died suddenly in 2013 while vacationing in Italy. He was 51 years old and died of a heart attack, shocking his fans and colleagues alike. Gandolfini's powerful performances had redefined television drama, and his sudden death was a devastating loss to the acting community. Gandolfini was widely respected as one of the greatest actors of his generation, bringing unparalleled depth and nuance to his characters, especially in The Sopranos. His passing came as a complete surprise, as he had no known major health issues. His death served as a stark reminder of the importance of heart health and sparked conversations about stress and health in the entertainment industry. The outpouring of grief from fans and colleagues reflected just how deeply Gandolfini had impacted the world of film and television. 5. Corey Monteith. Corey Monteith, the beloved star of Glee, died of a drug overdose in July 2013 at the age of 31. Monteith had been open about his struggles with addiction, but his death still came as a shock to his fans and castmates. The actor, who played Finn Hudson on the hit TV show, was found dead in his hotel room in Vancouver, Canada, after a relapse following a stint in rehab. Monteith's death was particularly tragic because he had been working hard to overcome his addiction. He had spoken publicly about his difficult teenage years, which included substance abuse problems, and how he had managed to turn his life around through acting. However, the pressures of fame and the temptations of Hollywood proved too much, and Monteith's relapse ended in tragedy. His passing left an indelible mark on the Glee cast and its devoted fanbase. 4. Natasha Richardson. Natasha Richardson, the talented actress from films like The Parent Trap and a member of the Redgrave acting dynasty, died after a tragic skiing accident in 2009. Richardson suffered a head injury while skiing in Quebec, Canada, but initially declined medical treatment. Tragically, her condition worsened, and she was later declared brain dead. Her sudden death at age 45 devastated her family and the acting community. Richardson's death shocked everyone, not just because of the suddenness, but because it seemed preventable. After her fall on the beginner's slope, she appeared fine and even laughed it off. However, what appeared to be a minor injury turned out to be a fatal brain hemorrhage. Her husband, actor Liam Neeson, and their 2 children were left to mourn her loss. The tragedy highlighted the importance of immediate medical attention in head trauma cases and served as a cautionary tale for the dangers of skiing accidents. 3. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, the trailblazing comedian and television personality, died in September 2014 following complications from a routine throat surgery. The 81-year-old's death came as a shock, as she had been actively performing and appeared to be in good health. An investigation later revealed that her death was the result of medical negligence, sparking widespread outrage. Rivers had undergone a minor procedure to examine her vocal cords when she went into cardiac arrest during the surgery. Despite her age, she was still a vibrant force in the entertainment industry, hosting Fashion Police and continuing her stand-up performances. Her death raised concerns about the safety of outpatient medical procedures and led to changes in how such surgeries are conducted. Joan Rivers was remembered not only for her sharp wit and groundbreaking comedy, but also for her tireless work ethic and pioneering spirit. 2. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, the iconic King of Cool, known for films like Bullet and The Great Escape, died of mesothelioma, a rare and aggressive cancer linked to asbestos exposure, in 1980 at the age of 50. McQueen had sought experimental treatments in Mexico in a desperate bid to survive, but ultimately lost his battle with the disease. His death was a painful reminder of the hidden dangers associated with the materials used in building sets and vehicles during his career. McQueen's cancer was believed to have been caused by his exposure to asbestos, which was commonly used in building insulation and in car brake linings, 2 things he had frequent contact with due to his love for racing and stunt work. McQueen had retired from acting shortly before his diagnosis, but had hoped to return to the screen. His death raised awareness about mesothelioma and the health risks associated with asbestos exposure, leading to increased regulations on its use in industries like construction and filmmaking. 1. Bruce Willis. Though still alive, Bruce Willis's recent health battle has brought him into the spotlight for tragic reasons. In 2022, Willis retired from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia, a cognitive condition that affects his ability to communicate. This marked the end of a legendary career that spanned over 4 decades. His battle with the condition has shocked and saddened fans, as Willis was known for his action-packed roles in films like Die Hard and The Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis's retirement due to aphasia hit Hollywood hard, especially as it came out of nowhere. Fans were shocked as Willis had continued to act up until his diagnosis was made public. His family announced the news, asking for privacy and support as they navigate his condition. Willis's story highlights the heartbreaking reality of neurodegenerative diseases and the impact they have on individuals and their families. These 25 tragic deaths of Hollywood actors are a sobering reminder of the challenges and dangers that can come with fame. Each story represents a unique combination of personal struggles, health issues, and sometimes the darker side of the entertainment industry. While their lives were cut short in heartbreaking ways, their legacies continue to live on through their work and the impact they made on audiences around the world. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new videos. Don't forget to click the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload new content. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.